Record. And we are on. I'm over here with Antonio McKee, heading to Bellator 263 versus Patricio Pitbull, coaching his son AJ McKee. How you feeling, Antonio?
Man, I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm happy, and I'm just, doing what I enjoy doing. So I don't think there's a better feeling than that.
I love it. I love it. How you guys feeling heading into this fight? And tell me your setup right now. Where you guys at? Like, what's going on?
We were going to go to Big Bear. We're still contemplating going to Big Bear. It's just right now things are convenient. He's looking good in camp. Everything is running smoothly. So we're going to just continue our camp in California, Long Beach.
Awesome. Well, I meant your setup right now. Where you guys at right now? I know you're in Connecticut, but you're in a hotel room, quarantine. What's that like?
Yeah, we're in Connecticut at the Mohegan Sun, quarantined up for a day. We're waiting for our results to come back tomorrow. We got a guy here named Isaiah who's fighting Bellator. So we're just kind of sitting back, and he came out too, so he can train as well as corner.
Yeah, I actually just spoke to Isaiah Hockett. Nice guy, and thanks for putting me in touch with him. I'm excited to see how he does this weekend.
Oh man, you need to cover the whole Bodyshop crew, bro. We got a bunch of stuff lined up. We're gonna always be something for you to call or talk to about.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to end up being the Bodyshop guy, especially out here in Boston. You guys aren't that far from me, especially right now in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Are you coming to the fight this weekend?
Possibly. I'm possible to see if I can get out of there. I hope so. Trying to get a media pass. You know how that goes.
Man, you want a media pass? I'll get you a media pass.
I'm gonna get with you after this, then we're gonna get together and get some stuff going on.
Sounds good.
How you guys feeling about the fight with Pitbull Patricio coming up? You as a coach throwing your son out there against a guy like that, how do you feel going in?
Man, this is a long time coming. He's been calling out Pitbull's name for so long now. In fact, I was telling my son the other day, I was kind of nervous. I said, man, this seems like to be the easiest fight. Yeah. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that he'll go out and finish Pitbull in the first round or second round. But what I'm saying as far as range and damage and, how to predict the fight, we've seen Patricio's fight. We've seen his fights 1,000 times. Nothing's really changed. He's actually slowed down. So for me as a coach, I feel really good about it. For me as a father, I'm proud. So all the way around, it's a beautiful thing for me.
I love that. And when you look at this fight, obviously you don't look too far ahead heading into this thing, but with all the success that AJ's had, and realistically speaking, he might be the best homegrown talent that Bellator's produced, realistically speaking. He has all his fights in Bellator, correct? Every fight's been in Bellator. He's a homegrown talent. Do you see bigger pastures next? Like, I guess what I'm saying is, are you looking at the UFC?
Well, I look at him first because it's his business. He's a business. His body is a corporation, and he's got to do what's best for his company. And I'm a loyal person, and I really believe in being loyal. But if somebody else is offering you more for your product, then you got to do what's best for your company, because longevity in this game is really important. You don't see a lot of fighters that have a longevity and they're mentally all there, or they're physically able to continue doing what they're doing. So I believe in health is first, and then comes the wealth. So, I mean, if Bellator's willing to give him what he's worth, somewhere around that line that's fair, then we stay at Bellator. If Bellator's numbers don't sound right for what he's done, what he's doing, and who he is, then we move on. We move into a different direction, of course, in a more economical direction. We don't just sit around and, lick our wounds, but we got to do what's best for the company.
Obviously. Awesome. That's super exciting heading into this fight too, because you look at, I was looking at AJ earlier today and all the potential fights from in the UFC, outside the UFC, obviously too. There's some interesting potential matchups with the skill set that he could really get, especially since the way you guys are fighting now. I've noticed a lot of the MMA metagame has moved towards cage fighting and a lot of the in-between. You guys are keeping it a lot of the really core basic moves and really drilling those home with AJ and beating people with those spots. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've strategized my career to run the way it ran, taking no damage. I get a lot of negative feedback, but then when you watch Khabib do it, when you watch some of the greatest fighters do it, it was okay. Unfortunately, it wasn't okay when I did it. None of my fights were script. I was never given easy opponents. I was never the kind of guy where the company worked for me. Everything I did was blood, sweat, and hard earned, and all the victories I won. When we started, there was no weight classes, so I had developed a style where I could just take everybody down. I was a superior wrestler. Unfortunately, the sports evolved quite a bit now, and it's more, it's still entertainment, but you're starting to see the sports part of it, and so you're not penalized for being undefeated. You're not penalized for having a specific technique, and no one can stop. So he's just had the benefit. I mean, the best of both worlds. He's been trained to be excited. He's been trained to be flashy, and that's all he knows. So you're never going to get a boring fight out of him. It's just not in his DNA.
Especially that when you guys had over Darian Caldwell, which was a big, big, cool victory, man. Submission of the year, especially the month winner too, was a big deal. Was that something that you guys planned coming in? Is there more exciting juice like that, or was that just something that just happened on the fly?
No, we knew he would submit him if he took him down, and we knew he'd get knocked out if he stayed on his feet. I think the world is just now understanding how good he really is. And, I've been saying the past 2-3 years, man, he's something different. He's something different. And you know what? The sad part about it is he's my son. So everybody's like, yeah, of course. That's just I'm like, no. Finally now we knock Caldwell out. We get rid of Compost. We knock out Georgie in less than 8 seconds. Like, come on, the kid's doing stuff that to fighters that don't normally get done. And so you have to look at his accomplishments. Forget what I'm saying. But now you have to put some respect on my name. Put some respect on his name. You know what I mean? Because we're doing it, and we're doing it independently. We're not part of some John Jones, Big Cam. We're not AKA. We're homegrown team Body Shop with the Body Shop boys.
And after you get this big win over Pitbull, it's going to be really hard for anyone to discredit you because, a lot of people don't realize this. Pitbull is literally numerically the most successful fighter in Bellator history. So if you look at everything that Bellator has done since the beginning, he holds most of the records. He's been the most consistent fighter. But AJ, I'm actually going to read these off real quick because I hadn't realized that AJ had racked up some of these really interesting accolades and accomplishments. Most consecutive victories in Bellator MMA history, most submission wins in Bellator featherweight history, most stoppage victories in Bellator featherweight division history, which is a big deal. And he's tied with Aaron Pico for most knockout victories in the featherweight division as well. So when you look at that, AJ is he's kind of in line to be the heir to the throne and the heir apparent in a lot of ways, man, leading into this. It's really beautiful stuff. Just on paper, you go back, you look at some of his accomplishments, it looks like Pitbull's getting set up for a changing of the guard situation. You know what I mean? Like he's fighting this young guy. And the only thing that makes it feel a little bit, iffy is you're catching AJ before maybe some of the bigger wins, because he beat Darian Caldwell. That was a guy that you could maybe argue that would have been a harder fight. He had a lot of experience as a tough guy. AJ was supposed to get decisioned in that fight, right? He's supposed to get that fight, get decision, come back stronger next year. AJ got him out of there quick. So it's like he's moving faster than the way you kind of write the story down, right? Because usually the way this stuff goes, they have a big fight, they kind of fall down, they come back better, right? Next time. It looks like AJ is just going to run through all this, get the belt, get the title. It's a big deal, man. Things are happening fast for him.
Well, it's fast for the fans and the people that don't know him. For us, it's not fast. He's been calling talk for a long time. And I think, when you put God first, he lines everything else up. And I think a lot of people miss that. A lot of people don't have a father in their life that actually understands what's going on, or not trying to duplicate myself, but duplicate a better me, And
I like that.
You have to take your emotions out of it. And you have to do what's right for your son, not what's right for me. My job's already done. You know what I mean? I'm having fun now. He either listens or he doesn't. If he listens and he wins, it's great. If he doesn't listen and he loses, then he says, shit, I'll start listening. Well, either way, it's his career. I just tell him, look, man, if it was me, knowing what I know, this is what I would do. This is the way I would do it. But we have a really great relationship between son and father. Like, we're really close. It's not like, I'm some asshole dad or some jerk coach. I mean, some of the stuff I have him doing, he doesn't understand it. But when he sees the results of his power and his speed and how easy things come to him in a fight, then he kind of doesn't question it anymore. He just hates doing it. But
nothing's looked hard so far. Like it's all looked like it's been a kind of a walk in the park for him, man. It's beautiful stuff.
All I should look. I told him he should be 17-0 all finishes. He's that good. And I know it. I've been in this game for over 25 years. I've trained the best fighters in the world. This is something different right here. It's like he's born to do it. We've got a 3-year-old son named Mason who's right there behind him. In
I
fact,
love
he's
it.
AJ was at 3 years old in the fight game. Check out King Mason.
Wow,
And he's only 3. So
it's
I
incredible.
it's just fighting's in the blood. My dad was a fighter. He was a left-hand Golden Glove champ. I was left-handed, converted to right-handed, but now we fight both. So AJ has the ability to fight left and right because I saw the advantages of it. So yeah, we're just, man, like I said, it's just fighting's in our blood. It runs in the family.
I love that. Bellator 263, AJ McKee versus Patricio Pitbull. It was July 17th. Hope you guys do extremely well. We're going to be talking to you again very soon. Thanks for the time, Antonio.
Okay, man, hit us up right when we get toward the show to get some more information and let me know about whatever you need, man. I'm down to support you. I like what you're doing. I appreciate you interviewing us. We take nothing for granted over here on our side. And we just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing because it's tough out there. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you just keep pushing because we're going to be right next to you or right in front of you or pulling you or pushing you, whatever we need to do to get you where you're trying to go to, because that's what we believe in, that family love, that unity. And that's why we're successful at what we do.
I love that, Antonio, man. I appreciate everything you do.
All right, brother. Take care.